Let's look at the answer to this question over here. All right, so what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to cross multiply. I'm going to take 7 and I'm going to put 7 as 7 over 1. And then I'm going to cross multiply. So I'm going to multiply that way and multiply this that way. So I'm going to end up with x plus 1 is equal to 7y dot, dot, dot. I'm going to make that equation 1. All right. Then I'm not going to change the second equation. I want it exactly the way it was. Hi, thing, you got no worries. X over y plus 1 is equal to 6. I'm going to leave equation 2 exactly the way I'm finding it. All right. Now I know that in any of these equations, I can either use substitution or elimination. Now in this particular question, I can see that I have an x all its own. So I'm going to make x the subject of the formula in the first equation. And then I'm going to use substitution. So I'm going to get 1 in equation 1. X is equal to, I'm going to take the 1 over to the other side. So I'm going to end up with x is equal to 7y minus 1. And I'm going to name that equation 3. All right. Now I'm going to substitute equation 3 into equation 2. Not equation 1 anymore, Abu. Equation 2. Equation 3 into equation 2. So I can see there equation 2. Wherever I see an x in equation 2, I'm going to replace that x with 7y minus 1. So I'm going to get 7y minus 1 over y plus 1 is equal to 6, right? And now what I can do again, I'm going to rewrite this as a fraction. 6 over 1. Now what I can do again is I can cross multiply again. Cross multiply. Oh, I'm sorry. I know I was supposed to name him Bob. I'll do it next time. Sorry. Sorry, Abu. All right, I'm going to cross multiply again. I know that 1 times 7 minus y, 7y minus 1 is just going to give me 7y minus 1 is equal to, now on this side, I'm going to get y plus 1 times 6, and that's going to give me 6 times y plus 1. And now I can solve for y. Does anybody want to solve for y for me? Please give me an answer. What is y going to be equal to? Remember to distribute that 6 in. Find me an answer, guys. Let me know. What is y equal to? Emmanuel, check again. Abu, yes. I think Emmanuel forgot that when I take that -1 over to the other side, it must become +1. So just double check your answer again, please, for me. All right, good. Yes. So I'm going to get 7y minus 1 is equal to 6y plus 6. And I'm going to take 6y over and I'm going to bring the -1 over to the other side. So I'm going to get 7y minus 6y is equal to 6 plus 1. Therefore, y is equal to 7. Yeah, true. Then you go, I know you're going to do great. Don't even stress it. All right, now that I know what y is, I'm going to go back into equation 3 over there, equation 3, where it says x is equal to 7y minus 1. And I'm going to replace y in there. I'm going to go x is equal to 7 times 7 minus 1. 7 times 7 is 49 minus 1. X is equal to 48. And there are my two answers. X is 48 and y is 7. Okay, just give me 1 second, guys. All right. Okay, that being said, welcome to Maths Live this evening. I hope everybody is doing great, guys. I can't wait for Friday. Our matrics are having their matric dance on Friday. And because I teach matric, I was invited. So guys, I'm gonna dress up and I'm gonna do the things and I'm gonna look nice. It's gonna be very nice. I'm already excited. It's not even my matric dance, but I'm excited. I'm gonna act like it's my matric dance. I'm going to be there upstaging the kids instead of just being a teacher in the background. I like things. I really like things. Okay. Yes, I'm reliving, Narisha. I'm just reliving my matric dance. Yes. This is part of the reason why I became a teacher, so that I could crash other people's matric dances. That's why I became a teacher. All right. Okay, let's have a look at what we're going to be learning about today. Today, we're going to be learning about literal equations. Now, I'm going to warn you guys that the literal equations that we're going to do in grade 10 look nothing like the literal equations that we did in grade 9. And Eric, guys, give it up for Eric. Look at Eric getting 86% for a whole maths exam. I mean, yes, sir. Yes, yes, yes. Woo-hoo! Well done. So, so amazing. Nicely done, sir. Sabo well. Very, very well done. Personally, I had no doubts. I knew you were going to do it, but I mean, we still have to give you your props because well done. Nicely done, sir. Nicely, nicely done. I'm very proud. Can we swap marks? No, because see, you can do it too. He cooked, he served, and he ate. Yes, Eric, lovely. Okay, all right, guys, let's get into this question over here. Okay, now in this question, they want us here to say solve for n. They want us to solve for n. Now, when we're solving for Hulani in term 2, it comes next. Okay, when we're solving for n, right, we know that because we have other values around our answer, we know that whatever operations we do, we're going to end up with n is equal to something, but that something is going to have a p, a v, an r, and a t in it. Because I don't have numbers, I have variables instead. So we're just going to do a couple of operations. This one is going to be quite easy. All right, so I know over here that n and r and t are multiplied to each other. They're multiplied to each other. So if I want n on its own, I'm just going to divide by the thing that it's multiplied by. Just like if I had 3x is equal to 6, I know that I want x on its own, so I'm going to divide by 3. Now over here, I want n on its own, so I'm going to then divide by RT. I'm going to divide this side by RT, and I'm going to divide this side by RT. Right, those two will cancel. Therefore, n is equal to PV over RT. See, that wasn't too bad. That was pretty okay. Okay, I can't guarantee that the next few questions we're going to do are going to be that nice, but let's see. I'll give you guys another example before we continue. Okay, I'll give you guys one more example before we continue, right? I am going to give you the equation V is equal to U plus AT. Any of you do physics, you will know what this is. It's one of the equations of motion, right? And now I want you guys to make A the subject of the formula. All right. So tell me in the chat what you get as an answer. Tell me A equals something. Yes, that's it. Well done, Princess Emmanuel. You're also correct. Well done. Good. All right. So first thing we're going to do, yes, Hulani, correct. So first thing we're going to do, Hulani, not plus. It cannot be plus. Okay. Ooh, no, Fulani, have a look at your answer again, my darling. All right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take u and we're going to move it over to that side. So I'm going to end up with v minus u is equal to at. Right, but now I want a on its own, so I must divide both sides by t. If I divide this side by t, if I divide this side by t, I must divide the whole thing by t. Right, so our final answer, therefore a is equal to v minus u over t. Yes, Vukosi, of course. Because it's positive on this side, when it goes over to that side, it needs to become negative. Okay. All right, it is a bit of a weird answer. I'll give you that. I'll give you that much. Okay. Alternatively, we can rewrite this as a is equal to v over t minus u over t. We can get the same thing, like we can break it up and give each of them their own denominator. Sorry, Abu. Sorry. Okay, I'm going to give you guys two of them to try on your own. There's number 1 and there's number 2. Now, the instruction is solve for x. So we want x as the subject of the formula. So make x, give me x is equal to something, and over here, x is equal to something. Narisha's so lazy. Whatever happened to 1 plus 1? Ah, la la. No, ma'am. I'll give you a good reason. I'll give you a good reason at the end of the lesson as to why we need to learn maths beyond 1 plus 1. Okay. Excuse me, guys. Sure, all the correct answers are pouring in and I'm loving it. Well done, Abu. Well done, Emmanuel. Keep it coming. Hello, Tyler. All right, peeps. Okay, let's have a look at these questions. Okay, so check your question, check your answer with mine as we go. All right, I know I want x to be the subject of the formula, so I'm going to take 4y over, and I'm going to end up with 2x is equal to 2 minus 4y. My next step is to divide through by 2, so I'm going to divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2, because Abu just wants us to do that. All right, those two will cancel, and I'm going to get x is equal to 2 divided by 2 will give me 1, minus 4y divided by 2 will give me 2y. So that's the answer we want. Now, I do recognize that other people's answer might look like this. X is equal to 2 minus 4y over 2. But now, in this case, particularly, when our answer looks like that, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to take out a common factor on the top of 2. So I'm going to get x is equal to 2, open brackets, 1 minus 2y over 2. The 2's will cancel, so my answer goes back to that one. All right, 1 mark if you got that one right. Okay. Emmanuel says, never saw that method. It's okay. No, no, it's not just 1 mark. It's not just 1 mark. Okay, I'm just saying that. Yes, correct, Vukosi. I'm just saying it's 1 mark to see if you got it wrong. Okay, all right. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, so let's start with this next one over here. Okay, I know that I want x as the subject of my formula. So ma'am, we factor out the 4y into a negative. No, Vukosi, what we've done, my darling, is when we took out a highest common factor, what is the highest common factor between 2 and negative 4y? It's 2. So I've taken 2 out, and if I take 2 out, I'm going to end up with 1 there, and if I've taken 2 out at negative 4y, I'm going to end up with negative 2y. All right, and that's where ma'am got that answer from. Or maybe I may have moved a little fast. Maybe in this next one, let's move a little bit slowly. Right, okay, so I know that I want x. I know that I want x. But at the moment, I don't have x. I've got negative bx. That's what I've got. I've got negative bx. So the first thing I'm going to want to get rid of is what? What am I going to want to get rid of on this side? Good, Abu, that's it. We want to get rid of the a. And because the a is not multiplied to this thing, it's added to this, I'm going to take it over to the other side. And because it's positive a on this side, it's going to go over and become negative a. So I'm going to end up with negative bx is equal to c minus a, right? Now imagine if this negative bx was actually negative 2x equals 8. How would we get rid of that negative 2? We would divide by it, right? We would divide by negative 2. And whatever we do on this side, we would divide by this side as well. We would also divide by negative 2, right? So we're going to take this exact idea. And now I know that I want x on its own. How do I get rid of negative b? I would divide by negative b. Correct. So I'm going to divide this side by negative b. And if I do it on this side, I need to do it on this side as well, negative b. And then those two will cancel. That then tells me, therefore, x is equal to c minus a over negative b. Give me a thumbs up. Is everybody with ma'am on how we did this? We all good? Good stuff. Excellent. Okay, shall we step it up a notch? Sorry, Narisha. I'm asking as a formality. It's a rhetorical question. I'm going to step it up a notch. Okay. Sorry. Here's our next question, number 3. ax squared plus 2bx is equal to 0. Okay. Now, I'm going to warn you guys. I'm going to warn you guys that we just learned about a squared number and having to have a 0 on this side. So before we continue, how many answers am I expecting? That's it, Abu. That's it, Theo. Well done. We're expecting 2 answers. So do the right thing, guys. Do the right thing. I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes. And then I'm just going to introduce number 4 as well. So if you get number 3, have a look at number 4. Yes, correct, Narisha. That's it. Correct. That's it. Beautiful stuff. Okay, you've given away the game, but it's fine. Number 4 is not going to be so nice to you, though. So, no, Abu, we're not retiring. Not at all. Hmm. One more minute, guys. Emmanuel, not quite. Not quite. But it's a good try. I'm curious to see how you did it. All right, peeps, let's discuss. Okay, so we know for number 3, we should get 2 answers. And courtesy of Narisha, she told us that we can factor out an x here. So I can take an x out, and I would get ax plus 2b left is equal to 0. Now, because both of these things are equal to 0, according to the 0 product law, that tells me that x is equal to 0 or ax plus 2b is equal to 0. Now, that one is easy enough. We've found an answer for x. on that side. On this side, however, there's still some work to be done, right? So I can take the 2b, remember I want x, so I'm going to take 2b over to the other side, right? So I'm going to end up with ax is equal to negative 2b. And then I know over here that I want x on its own, so I'm going to divide both sides by a. Divide by a, divide by a. Therefore, x is equal to 0 or x is equal to negative 2b over a. How did we do, guys? Yes, no, yo, ma'am. Ambulance, come and fetch me. Oh, I'm sorry, Mbulelo. Because it says almost. I like almost. Princess is like, Number one, yes. Emmanuel, we're not talking about number one. All right. Oh, guys. Okay. It's all good. It's all good, guys. It's all good. All right. Number 4 is tricky. It's supposed to be tricky. And you guys are going to be like, nah, man. Watch what happens when I show you guys what should happen in number 4. All right. So again, I see a squared, right? But now the problem with this squared thing over here is that there's too many things over here with a squared. But I know that if I wanted to create a trinomial, I would use x squared and negative 3x. And what other one would I use to create what other number yes, that's it, Fulani. I would use the 4. All right, somebody's asking me, ma'am, why did we divide? Why did we use a to divide? Now, the reason we used a over here is because I want x on its own. And a is multiplied to x. So to get rid of x, because they're multiplied to each other, I must divide by a. Because a divided by a is 1. And 1x is just x. Okay. All right, I hope that makes sense. Okay, now I know I want this thing over there, but that thing has an a and that one also has an a. So I'm going to take this over to the other side. So I'm going to end up with x squared minus 3x minus 4 is equal to that negative ax will come over and become positive ax plus a. What do I notice over here? What do I notice? Correct. Abu, your spelling is terrible, but I know what you mean. A trinomial. Good. I notice a trinomial. So we can factorize this trinomial, right? If I factorize this trinomial, what would I get? What kind of factorization are we looking at on this side? Thank you, Emmanuel. Good, Fulani. On the right-hand side, we're looking at HCF. So I'm going to get x minus 4 and x plus 1. Now, if I take out a factor of a on this side, a common factor of a, I'm going to end up with x plus 1. Right. Now I see that x plus 1 is common on both sides. So I'm going to divide this side by x plus 1. And I'm going to divide that side by x plus 1. That will cancel. That will cancel. So what I have left is actually x minus 4 is equal to a. Therefore, x is equal to, I will take the negative 4 over to the other side. X is equal to a plus 4. Who would have thought? Who would have thunk it, guys? Who would have thunk it? How was that? How are we feeling about that? I know it was supposed to be tricky, but remember, guys, the easy ones, the ones that we did first, number 1, number 2, those ones are grade 9 literal equations. So we can't stay at grade 9 literal equations. We need to go to grade 10. I know, correct. It looks hard, but it's not really. Not really, it's not. All right, I'm going to show you guys one more. Okay. Here's number 5. Now, I'm going to give you guys a hint on how to do number 5. I want everything with an X on one side, and I want everything without an X on the other side. That is my clue. I'm going to give you guys 3 minutes. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Take it away, ladies and gents, and pop your favorite emoji in the chat when you're ready. I'll give you a hint. The answer should be a number for this one. Narisha, yes, Narisha, you can do grouping. You can actually do grouping. I didn't see it before, but now I see it. Actually, Narisha, go ahead and do grouping. I want to see what kind of answer comes out for you, because my answer was going to look completely different to yours. Okay. I just want to double check, because when I do grouping in my head, I'm getting a completely different answer. But when I did it earlier, I got something completely different. Yes, because you can also use HCF, but it depends on how you've structured each side. We can use HCF. Now that I'm thinking about Narisha's answer, I want to see if, okay. No, my answer is still correct. Princess, 100%. On the money, my darling. Not a single thing wrong. Shulani, please remember, we don't want x squared, we want x. So solve for x. After a while, Abu, the maths gets that easy. When you've been doing it as long as I have, the maths gets easy. Okay, I can see the steps in my head. No, Emmanuel, not at all. Remember what ma'am said. Anything with an X, one side. Anything without an X, other side. And then it flows so easily. Excuse me. Guys. Yes, Theo, well done. All right, peeps, let's have a look at this question. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys my way first, and then I'm gonna do Narisha's way, and I'm gonna show you guys how we get to the same answer both ways. All right, except if you do it Narisha's way and you don't know what to do at the end, it's going to be a little bit tricky. All right, so in my way, I'm going to take ax squared and bx squared. Those are the two things with x. I'm going to leave them on this side. And everything else that doesn't have an x must go to the other side. So the negative 4a and the negative 4b must also go over to the other side. So on this side, I'm going to get ax squared plus bx squared is equal to, the negative 4a will come over and it will become 4a plus 4b. And now I can notice on this side, there's an HCF of x squared. So I'm going to take x squared out and I will have a plus b. On this side, I'm going to notice an HCF of 4. So I'm going to take 4 out and I'm going to get a plus b. Now, both sides have a plus b. So I'm going to divide this side by a plus b, divide this side by a plus b. Those will cancel, those will cancel. So I'm going to get x squared is equal to 4 left. And then I need to take the square root. I can do two different things here. First, I can take the 4 over to the other side, and I'm going to end up with x squared minus 4 is equal to 0. This is dots. So I can open up 2 brackets is equal to 0, x minus 2, x plus 2. Therefore, x is equal to positive 2 or x is equal to negative 2. Now, if I took it from here, if I took it from this part over here, I could maybe take the square root of this side and the square root of that side. And I know, therefore, x is going to equal to positive or negative 2 because 2 squared is equal to 4. But also negative 2 all squared is also equal to 4. So that's why we include the plus minus, because both of those things are equal to 4. All right, that's my way. Now, if I do it Narisha's way, we could do this. We could group because these two have A in common and these two have B in common. So we can group on the left-hand side. So I'm going to take out a common factor of a over there. So I'm going to end up with a, open brackets, x squared minus 4 is equal to, over there, there's a common bracket. Yo, not equal to, I'm lying, not an equal to sign. Over there, there's a common bracket of b, so plus b, open brackets, and then I'm going to end up with x squared minus 4 is equal to 0. Well done, Narisha. This is actually such sound mathematics. I'm very, very happy. Okay. So on this side, I'm going to then group. I'm going to take out a plus b and x squared minus 4 is equal to 0. Now, most of us should get stuck here because now from here, we're not all sure what to do, right? But remember, the thing that we want is actually that. Okay, that's the thing that we want. So even if we say a plus b is equal to 0, we don't care about this answer because we're not solving for a plus b. We're going to solve for x squared minus 4. So we can say a plus b is equal to 0 or x squared minus 4 is equal to 0. Then we can open 2 brackets. Okay. Or we can also do what Abu is suggesting. Absolutely, we can. X plus 2, x minus 2 is equal to 0. We're going to end up back at Mam's answer. X is equal to plus or minus 2. Or what we could do, like Abu is suggesting, we can divide both sides by a plus b. A plus b. Now these two will cancel, and 0 divided by anything is just 0. So I still end up with just this side. All right. I think we should step it up a notch. Let's step it up a little bit more. What do we think, gang? I think we should. I'm hearing yes, 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 yay, yay. Go, man. Woo, woo. Absolutely. They're like, bring it on, ma'am. Let's do it. Yeah, we got this. We got this. Here's our next challenge. All right, now I want us to read Vukosi. I love it. I love it. I want us to read this very carefully. Now, before we answer this question, Okay, before we answer this question, I want us to make sure that we are understanding what's happening. Okay, I'm going to put this must be a plus. This must be AY squared plus BY. All right, let's think about let's all strategize together on what we think should happen. Okay, who's got an idea? Let's not leave each other hanging. Let's help each other out. Okay, great. Emmanuel is saying HCF. Okay, Emmanuel says HCF. So maybe if we go to this side over here and we take out an HCF, what is my HCF going to be, Emmanuel? X. Okay, clearly says X. Abu says X. Emmanuel says X. Okay, so let's take out X from this side, right? If I take out X, I'm going to end up with AX minus B on this side is equal to, what about on this side? Y. Okay, we're going to take out a Y. And then I'm going to end up with AY plus B. Did that help us? Did it help? No. Not really, not really. Okay, so maybe taking out an HCF isn't the thing. Maybe we need to reorder both sides. Maybe we need to reorder both sides. Is there anything on the left-hand side that we can group with something on the right-hand side? And is there anything that we can swap around from one side to the other? Ha, Narisha, there we go. Narisha says, maybe let's take the A's. Yes, of course. Let's take everything with A and put it on one side. And let's take everything with a B and put it on the other side. Good. So we know that AY squared needs to come over to the side and negative BX must go over to that side. So let's do that. Right, so I'm going to get AX squared minus AY squared is equal to negative BX will come over and become BX plus BY. Aha, Shulani, there we go. And then we will use HCF. Right, what HCF do I have on the left-hand side? I've got an A, right? Good. So we're going to take A out. Let's take A out, and then I'm going to get X squared minus Y squared. And then on this side, I'm going to take out B. Right, Narisha, beautiful. I'm going to take out B. Then on this side, I'm going to have X plus Y. Lollipop for the person who can spot the other thing. Ah, Emmanuel! Woo-hoo! He spotted it. This lollipop goes to Emmanuel. Well done, sir. Right. What do we see inside this bracket over here? What do we see inside here? Like Emmanuel says, we see a difference of 2 squares. Right, we see a difference of 2 squares. So we're going to factorize this as a difference of 2 squares. So we're going to get A, and then we're going to open 2 brackets. And then we're going to get X minus Y and X plus Y. And that is going to equal to B multiplied by X plus Y. Now I notice both sides have X plus Y. So I'm going to divide this side by X plus Y. And I'm going to divide that side by X plus Y. Cancel, 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 cancel. We're almost there because the question said we must determine what X minus Y is. So at the end, we want X minus Y equals something. All right, so we're almost there. So now what I have left is A times X minus Y is equal to B. What's the last step? Aibo, guys, not B minus A. What do brackets mean? What do brackets mean? Brackets mean multiply, right? So this A is multiplied to X minus Y. That's it, Narisha, correct. So instead, that's it, Eric. Instead of minusing, we must divide. That's it. We're going to divide by A on both sides. So that A divided by A will give us 1. So X minus Y is equal to B over A. Now, who's going to tell me that, yo, ma'am, I will, ma'am. I don't think it was that bad. How did we feel? It was okay. It was all right. Imagine like with you. Yeah. It is. Okay, guys. All right. That's the answer. X minus Y is equal to B over A. Right. Let's look at maths this way. Okay. It was a nice brain teaser. Okay. What we're looking for in mathematics, guys, is not always the right answer. Okay. Here's one tip that I can give you guys whenever you're writing maths exams or tests. Okay. Especially your tests. Let's say at school, your teacher teaches you factorization. If your teacher teaches you factorization and then they give you a test, right? If they give you a test, do you all know that last question? You guys know that last question at the back of the page where everybody is like, somebody's like, I got -2, and somebody's like, I got 15, and then somebody says, I got President Ramaphosa. You know that question? That one at the end. Yes, that one. Right, that question. If your teacher has taught you factorization, there is a very high chance that the way to solve that last question is to use factorization. Abu got President Malema. President Malema is not president yet. He's an honorable member. He's an honorable member. Okay. So if your teachers teach you algebraic fractions, that question at the very end of the paper probably has something to do with how you solve algebraic fractions. Okay, so they won't just like pick up a question out of the blue somewhere from someone. No, it probably has something to do with what you've learned. Okay, so it's not far-fetched that it would be connected. All right, I'm going to give you another one. I like these. Okay, let's think a little bit out the box. All right, here we go. Here's our next example. I'm playing with the alphabet. Oh, Emmanuel. All right. Okay. I'm going to ask you guys one more time. What have we been doing? Look at all the questions that we've done so far. Look at that one. Look at that one. Look at that one. What is the one thing we've been doing in every single question? Narisha, not just trinomials, but we've definitely been doing factorizing, right? We've been factorizing a lot, right? So if we look at this next question, I'm willing to bet you that somewhere there is factorization involved. Okay, so I'm going to let you guys take it away. Read the question. Read the question. It says, if x squared is equal to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared, and y squared is equal to a squared minus b squared, determine x over y. Khulani can already see it, and I didn't have to say anything. But Khulani can already see it, right? I bet you everybody can already see it over here. Are we in agreement that everybody can see it in y squared? Yes, Khulani. Beautiful. We see dots. In the y squared part, there's dots. Let's think about what we'll see in the x squared part. What are we noticing in the x squared part? What are we noticing over here? Yes, Emmanuel. Not that there's a 2AB, that there's a trinomial. Right, good. But now, we also need to contend with the fact that what we've got here is an X and a Y. But in the question that they've given us above, they've given us X squared and Y squared. So how do we consolidate? How do we go from X over Y to an X squared and a Y squared? Think about that mathematically. How would we go about that? I'll give you guys a hint. I can take, yes. I'm sorry, the person who just DM'd me, I know that you don't want your name said out loud, but can I just say it? Can I just say your name this once? Because you are actually on point. You are 100. Thank you. How do I get from X to X squared, guys? I just need to go times X over Y. Because the top is X times X and the bottom will be Y times Y. Tyler, mwah, just gold, gold. All right, I'm going to give you a chance to try and figure this one out, guys. Factorize where you need to factorize. Remember what each of those means. All right. Take it away, guys. Abu, you're missing something? Okay. All right, I'm going to get started a little bit. All right. Anybody got a next step for me? Yes, that's it, Abu. The AA plus B and the A plus B cancel. How do I get rid of that squared, guys? That's it. Correct, Emmanuel. Square root. Good. So this and that will cancel. Therefore, X over Y is equal to the square root of A plus B over A minus B. And it was never supposed to be a good looking answer. That was not the point, Abu. It's, even if it's an ugly answer, it's the right answer. And that's what we need. Okay. All right, guys, it's officially 7 o'clock.